Have you ever wondered why some managers can knock out a critical task in literally 5 minutes, while others, well, they flounder around for 5 weeks? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're cutting through the usual corporate buzzwords. Instead, we're going to use the hard laws of physics as a literal, grounded diagnostic tool to unlock your business's hidden performance secrets. Look, you've probably seen this unseen performance gap firsthand, right? One organization makes decisions at lightning speed and learns continuously. Meanwhile, another passes every single decision upward, layer by agonizing bureaucratic layer. The committee meets, the energy bleeds out, and absolutely nothing gets done. To fix this massive performance gap, we need a radically different approach. Enter Nikola Tesla. The genius who laid the groundwork for alternating current famously said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Now, here's the catch. We aren't using this as some cute metaphor. We're actually going to use Tesla's concepts as a literal, practical diagnostic manual for how your organization executes. So, we'll be breaking this down into 3 core metrics: energy, frequency, and vibration. Let's get right into it. Starting with number 1, energy. Or simply put, the capacity to get things done. In business, energy isn't just some vague, fuzzy feeling. It is the literal capacity of your people and systems to execute. Think about empowerment, for example. It's not just a nice HR concept. It's a hard energy decision. It means giving staff the power to actually act by stripping away mindless bureaucracy. Paradoxically, the most powerful leaders are the ones who willingly give away their power. Why? Because they know that passing decisions up the chain just causes friction, and friction drains the battery. You can actually see this energy difference everywhere. It's exactly why incredibly focused Kenyan startups can often completely outperform massive, sluggish corporates. They concentrate all their energy on one mission. Toyota channels its energy into continuous improvement. Amazon drives a rapid decision-making. Contrast that with low-performing organizations. They end up wasting all their capacity on the sheer drama of firefighting and the friction of endless corporate reporting. So poor leaders drain energy, while great managers create it. Which forces us to ask a pretty vital, grounding question about your own systems. Where is your organizational energy being wasted right now? Are you just managing time, or are you actually managing energy? Moving on to number 2, frequency. This is all about rhythm, speed, and adaptation. We can define frequency as the rate at which an organization learns, communicates, and adapts. High-frequency market leaders, think Google, Amazon, or Tesla, they operate as continuous learning organizations. They run rapid experiments, they push out monthly releases, and they rely on daily operational dashboards. This stands in total contrast to low-frequency companies that are stuck doing this sort of ritual planning every 5 years, and then they sit around wondering why the market moved completely without them. But there's a deeply personal dimension to this physics too. Just like human hearing is physically limited to a range of 20 to 20,000 hertz, our ability to focus is entirely dictated by our brainwave frequencies. When you're anxious or stressed out, your mind operates at a higher, much more frantic frequency. Market leaders, people like Steve Jobs, Ray Dalio of Bridgewater, Mark Benioff, and thinkers like Yuval Noah Harari, they all understood that to see clearly amidst all that anxiety, you actually have to calm the mind's frequency, very often through meditation. Think of your brain like a radio dial. Right up at the top is beta, 14 hertz and above. That's our waking, everyday, often pretty scattered state. But to pull off those highly productive 2-hour deep work sessions, we literally have to tune the dial down. We drop into alpha for relaxation and intuition. Actually, the pioneer Jose Silva believed 10 hertz was the absolute sweet spot for visualizing goals. Deeper still is theta, where deep meditation happens, all the way down to delta for dreamless sleep. Single tasking without distraction physically requires lowering your frequency. Seriously, if you close your eyes right now and just take a breath, you'll notice how incredibly difficult it is to focus on just one single thing for a mere 10 seconds without some noisy, distracting voice interrupting your frequency. And here's the kicker. If you can't control your own mind's frequency, how can you expect to control it in your organization? That brings us to number 3, vibration, which is really just another word for the true culture of your business. Vibration strips away all those tired HR buzzwords to examine a company's actual emotional atmosphere. Everything creates a vibration. Physics teaches us that systems become incredibly powerful when they resonate. When everyone is truly on the same bus, you foster intense trust and encourage real risk-taking. So, when Gen Z employees quit a job and say they just don't feel the vibe? They aren't just being difficult. They are accurately sensing a systemic lack of resonance. And this isn't some abstract woo-woo concept either. When a finance director named Sarah says, "It just feels different working here," she is literally describing the organization's vibration. You can feel that vibe from the exact moment you walk through the front doors of a company and sense how people deal with you. You always have to watch what people actually do in the room, rather than what they say. Genuine alignment stands in stark contrast to the loud, toxic hype of companies that are constantly running PR campaigns about being a great place to work. Frankly, if the vibration doesn't resonate naturally, that loud hype is usually the biggest signal that something is fundamentally broken underneath it all. So let's wrap this up with the diagnostic interrogation. 3 essential questions every organization needs to answer honestly. First up, energy. Where exactly are your time, talent, and resources being lost or amplified? You must take an honest audit of your organizational capacity and identify exactly where friction is bleeding out your ability to execute. Second, frequency. How quickly does the organization actually sense, decide, and act? You need to measure your rhythm and speed to see if you're running rapid feedback loops or if you're suffocating under archaic planning rituals. And third, vibration. What behaviors and cultural patterns are actually shaping performance in the room? Look past that glossy corporate values poster on the wall and interrogate the actual emotional resonance that's driving your team's culture and trust. Diagnosing your company's physics requires a completely unflinching look at reality. If the honest answers to those 3 questions make you uncomfortable, well, that is exactly the conversation you need to start having today. For more sharp, grounded insights on applying this physics business parallel, visit www.acatalyst.co. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. If your organization were a machine, would its current physics propel it into the future or shake it to pieces before the year ends?